What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all enjoying your weekend. It is a beautiful Saturday, a little after 4:30. Appreciate each and every one of you taking the time, whether you're watching this live, watching this later. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate you guys just tuning in, hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, whatever you're doing to support this. I truly can't thank you enough. But we've got some news on this bright Saturday, some very good news we've talked about the last few days as well. There was an open roster spot, so we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about the updated game status reports, practice squad elevations, and then take a look at the updated depth charts for both teams. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into this. Hope you're all enjoying your weekend so far. But to start it off, we're going to start with these updated game status reports. And well, the Eagles have quite the good update here. We talked about this. If he's not healthy, don't bring him back. But if he's good to go, look good to go, you bring his ass back. Well, sure enough, Avonte Maddox is back. So that little thing at the bottom there, the game status report, has now changed. And as you see, activated off of IR is Avonte Maddox, baby. So we get our starting nickel cornerback back in action. Josiah Scott moves back into that defensive back depth role where he can back up the nickel corner and the safeties. We're going to need to play him a little at safety, Josiah Scott, that is, with Avonte Maddox back. Andre Sacheret was waived, and now he is back on the practice squad. But look, we have depth all across the board, so people filling in for people. But now the game just changed. But as you see here, Sean Bradley was listed out yesterday. But what changed here? Trey Sermon, now questionable with an illness. Now, we all know that is our fourth running back, and, well, we never use him. He's usually inactive. So probably inactive tomorrow. Not a big deal either way, but I hope he's doing all right. Never want to see anybody banged up or sick. So best of luck to Trey Sermon. Hopefully Sean Bradley good to go. We'll talk about what the Eagles did to replace that then. But the Giants here, they have the same thing as yesterday here. Ezeju, their backup guard is out, and then starting corner Adoree Jackson and starting left guard Shane Lemieux are out. On the defensive side of the ball, you got Leonard Williams doubtful, so that's a big loss for them if he's out, looking that way. And then you see Saquon Barkley. He is questionable with a neck injury, but we're going to talk next about the practice squad elevations and what that means and what that tells us, what we can read into some of these things. So let's talk about these practice squad elevations. And for the Eagles, Sean Bradley's out, but we elevated Christian Ellis last week due to the fact that this special teams unit was struggling. He came in, really brought a spark to it. And, you know, with Sean Bradley out, you obviously need a linebacker. So again, we are elevating Christian Ellis. So he is back on the squad for this game. He will be doing some special teams work. And Kaiser White was a little banged up this week, so maybe Nakobe Dean a little bit more defensive snaps. So Christian Ellis, he's definitely going to have some playing time here. We shall see what goes down. And then on the Giants side of the ball, they didn't elevate a running back. So to me, that tells me that Saquon Barkley will probably be good to go. Now on the defensive line, they obviously will be missing Leonard Williams, it looks like. So Ryder Anderson was elevated. And then in the secondary with Adoree Jackson out, they elevated Zion Gilbert. But not so sure they're going to need him at corner. They have other corners, probably more special teams work for him. But, hey, that's a very important role. And that's what we're doing with Christian Ellis. So that's what you have here. Now we're going to take a look at what all these injuries, elevations, what they look like, what it means when you're actually looking at this depth chart. So you can have a look at who's out, which starters they're missing, all that stuff. So we're going to take a look. Let me check out these comments here real quick. Sup, no, Saquon is questionable, but looks like he is good to go. Tate is back. Avonte Maddox, baby. Let's go. Christian, he did first play of the game. He came out, knocked somebody out, and look, we talk about that. We just need a fire in the special teams unit. We got that last week, so all about it. Nina in the building. What is going on? Hope you are doing well. You and Tim, can't thank you enough for taking time on this Saturday afternoon. And the sun's going down, man. It's starting to a little crispy out there, too. So hope you guys enjoyed your day. Hope you're enjoying your weekend so far. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're ready for this game tomorrow. I know you are. I'm going to be searching for that pre-game day. I know you always post something, so I'm going to be looking for it. Need the dancing videos. Need those good vibes here. Let's go. But let's take a look at these depth charts, and let's take a look at what both of these teams are going to look like. Any questions or comments you guys have, more than welcome to just throw him out there. And that goes to everybody out there. But let's take a look at this Eagles team now. Only thing that changed is Trey Sermon is questionable. So you see questionable there, but doesn't really matter. Cannot wait. Hopefully Dallas Goedert come back next week. We got Maddox back this week. So yeah, but this offense finding ways to dominate without him. We know what, he means to this offense, such a pivotal piece. So man, when he comes back, this team's only going to be better. Cannot wait to see this game. I still feel we're going to beat this team by at least 2 touchdowns here. It could be another 20+ point win. You just can't shoot yourself in the foot. But you are way more talented. This is a better team. You need to go out and whoop some ass. And the same goes on this defense with Jordan Davis back, having such depth interior wise. Oh my God. Now, Robert Quinn was placed on IR. We know that. Robinson came back, though, so we'll see if he gets some reps this week. But you've got Sweat, you've got Graham. On the other side, you got Reddick, Patrick Johnson, and Kyron Johnson. So you've got depth there as edge rushers. The linebackers, we talked about it. Bradley's out. So you see Christian Ellis there, elevated from the practice squad. And, we still got Edwards and White. And then Nakobe Dean is your depth. So we're good there. And then the secondary, baby, Avonte Maddox back as the nickel corner, as mentioned. And then Josiah Scott, you see there, he can play that role Sachere played, and he can be used as a safety as well. You want to use 3 safety sets and not Kayvon Wallace and rather Josiah Scott. I'd be perfectly fine with that. So that's a role he can play. It's unfortunate CJ is out, but you do what you got to do in the meantime, and the Eagles have the pieces to do that. This is why people on the practice squad and all the depth pieces are so important. We're finding that out throughout the season. But Avonte Maddox is back, baby. You love to see that. Now, the special teams unit, they look good last week. Let's have another week of blocking. We talked about how great it would be if we could just start blocking, if things could happen, and, well, they did. So keep doing it. Whoever's back there. I know Boston Scott's been used as kick returner. Covey looking great, punt returner. Whatever you got to do, get it done. Love to see this special teams unit succeed. Now, the Giants, they had themselves their moves on defense. So if you've been watching throughout the week, this is still the same. But if you, by any chance, you're just tuning in, anyone in red is new to the team this season. You see the Q tag there for Saquon Barkley. You see anyone on IR or out is in the pink there because, well, red was obviously taken. So you've got their starting guard out. Will Jack Anderson start? Probably not. Nick Gates, I don't know. So we'll find out who it is. But they've got themselves a hole at guard, and we've talked about this defensive line needing to dominate them. So go out, do that. Not afraid of their receivers. Shut down Daniel Jones. Obviously, the biggest part of their offense is Saquon Barkley. So you shut him down, make them one-dimensional, and you can really beat up on this offense. Now, their defense, not afraid of them either, especially when they're missing 2 of their biggest pieces. And Leonard Williams looks like he will be out. That's why they elevated Ryder Anderson there. And you've got guys like Justin Ellis, Henry Mondeau. So we'll see how much action Anderson actually gets. But missing Williams is huge. And then Adoree Jackson out. You've got guys like McLeod, Flott, and Rodarius Williams who can give you some snaps. As I said, Gilbert's probably more of a special teams guy. But you see, that's a massive blow for them. And I think this offense really should do some work to the Giants defense. And then the special teams unit, everybody good to go there. Richie James was a little banged up this week, but he is fine. Adoree Jackson is out, but they don't use him. You can if you want, but special teams unit, good to go. But that's all I got for you today. That's the game status reports, practice squad elevations, and the depth charts there. But let me know how you're feeling about this, ladies and gentlemen. Crispy indeed, my man. Very, very crispy out there. Brisk tea, that's brisk, baby. You know it, my dude. But a crispy day it is, and I couldn't wait to. I was like, I'm gonna get home at 4:30. I set it for 4:35, and I almost didn't even make it for that. So holy hell! But it's been a wild day. I hope you guys are having a good one. Liz in the building. Cannot thank you enough for the super chat. Thank you very much. I hope you are having a fantastic Saturday. Just went through, talked about some of these things. Not sure when you tuned in here, but I'll give you a quick look here at the updated game status report for the Eagles. Avonte Maddox activated off of IR. Let's go. And Trey Sermon was added as questionable. So nothing huge there, but it's obviously huge. Avonte is back. Nothing changed for the Giants there. So the game status reports, only update was Avonte coming back and Sermon. And then you see the elevations. Ellis again for the Eagles. And then here, Ryder Anderson and Gilbert for the Giants with those updated depth charts there we just showed. So look, this Eagles team, we talked about it throughout this week, and I'm going to show you again the way that this team, has been able to win games. That's great for the Giants, but they really do not stack up against the Eagles, their offense, their defense. And look, you have to take numbers with a grain of salt, but we can shut down the run. That's what they're good at. And, Saquon Barkley can kill you in the air too. So you have to shut that down. We've got good linebackers, safeties that can stick on him. And I really think that, this defense is created. We talked about it, the multiple schemes. You can stop anybody in a multitude of ways. So we talked about it throughout the week. Not afraid of their offense at all. And their defense, I know they've got some talent, but they're missing two of their best players. And even if they had them, I would still have the Eagles winning this game by 2 touchdowns. Now I'm thinking 20-plus point win. I know it's a divisional matchup. I know that it is in their house, and I get it, man. If you start making stupid mistakes, you start shooting yourself in the foot, well, then you are going to have your struggles. But if you play up to, you saw with the stupid mistakes last week, what the Eagles were able to do. And, bro, that's a great defense. Or they're going to find out. They got a great running back. Well, did we find out? Because we beat their ass, and Derrick Henry only had 30 yards. And, well, we look pretty good on offense and defense. So I think this team needs to come out and get rid of the sloppiness and really have last week it felt great. 25-point win. Yes, a win is win. I love it. But go out and have an even better game and show the NFL that we mean business. That's cute. The Giants, Cowboys. Oh, look how close we are. That's cute. You're close, but we're number one, and we are number one in the NFL. Not just the NFC East, not just the NFC. It's the NFL. So we keep building on what we are. Don't worry about anyone else, and we can steamroll teams like the Giants on our way to the playoffs, and then the party's going to get started. And look, we can beat anybody. I've talked about it since before the season started. When I had us at 15 wins, it was hard for me to give us a couple losses because I talked about we're good enough to beat each of these teams. And the Commanders, we already beat them. So we lost to them. Talk about those stupid penalties. We talk about stupid things we did in that game to shoot ourselves in the foot. Look, whatever you want to say, we lost that game. We should have won it, though. So it's like, it's a stupid game. Who cares? You learn from it. It's regular season. When you get in the postseason, you can't do stuff like that. So we're lucky to be learning from that. And I think that this game, it's huge because obviously we hate the Giants and, they're still in the hunt. They want to get that wild card spot and that's cute and all, but we are literally a juggernaut already. And I feel that this dynasty we've talked about, for a couple of years, it truly is right in front of us. Like this is it. And next year, 2 first-round picks, like it's only going to get better. We've got cap space. Like we can make moves here. So you guys have been with me. The excitement is there, and it's nice to see the media and other fans getting on board because it's been brutal hearing this, the slander. And it's like, dude, are you guys not watching or did not know what you're watching? Because Jalen Hurts has been playing at an MVP level, using his feet, using his arm. Whatever he needs to do, he's getting it done. And Sirianni, Steichen, Gannon, they're all doing their thing, and they've had their issues. But this is the NFL, man. You're going up against other professionals. And for me, this team is the real deal, man. And look, any given Sunday, so you got to play to your best every game. So you got to start doing that. You got to get rid of these stupid things that we do. And I think we'll be all right. But thank you, Liz, for that super chat. Truly appreciate you. Tim, my man, matchup of Riddick versus Neal tomorrow is going to be a fun one. You're damn right. We talked about that in the top matchups. This defensive line should dominate. What was it? They're 26th in the league, giving up sacks there or something. I really don't care, man. I think, or maybe it was 18th. I'm thinking of 26 against the run, right? Whatever. So, look, you can attack them in so many ways. We've talked about that. And I think, when it comes to this defense, causing turnovers, we talked about 3 turnovers tomorrow. That's right. Call them 3, man. Go out there, 2 interceptions, maybe a fumble recovery to add on there. I really think this team's going to go out here and, dude, we're going to lay a smackdown on them right in their house. And I think Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat going to have themselves a day. Talk about Evan Neal being there, Andrew Thomas on the other side. I think they're both going to have their hands full. Then the interior, you talk about Sue, Joseph, Davis, Cox, Hargrave, Williams. Best of luck to you, and you're missing your left guard. Well, I pity them, man. So I really see a dominant game. If you play up to who you are, there's no reason you shouldn't destroy the New York Giants. And you know it, period. We will be ready. And it's like when you hear the people that are haters or the media, like, oh, well, they did it. It's like, you think they don't know that? You think they don't go to practice every day and talk about this stuff and get, like, you hear the awesome speeches that Jalen Hurts gives. Like, all that does is just get these guys. They're the juggernaut. You hit them, it makes them stronger. Like, it's beautiful to see. It truly is. And I really can't. I can't stress enough how much I love this team, man. And I think we got special things coming. Now you just got to keep 1-0 each week. I know that. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but to predict what I did before the season, I feel like I'm just in heaven at this point, and I need to I'm riding the wave, man. But yeah, you got to get rid of that stuff, man. And if you do, think about that. We beat them by 25, shut Derrick Henry down to 30 yards, and that's with playing like that. Like that was 9 penalties, like in the first quarter. It was like, what are we doing here? So I agree with you. You can't have that. You got to eliminate that. Yo, let's go. You know it, dude. So we're going to destroy them. I agree with you, Sean. I don't think the Nats are going to have a chance against us, really. And it's not that I think that, Daniel Jones, I think he's a little underrated. And the people that do like him, I think maybe overrate him. So I always say that he's a real weird case. And he can use his legs a little bit. Now, can't be giving up 60-yard runs where he gets to tackle himself here. So we talked about Tannehill having more rushing yards than Derrick Henry last week. He had 34. Henry had 30. You can't have that. You got to keep containment. And look, it's bend, don't break. So you got to sometimes live with what happens there, but keep containment. And, you saw sometimes people losing their containment, going inside when they need to stay outside, doing things where these are all coachable moments. You learn from that. You don't allow Daniel Jones to do those things with his legs because they are going to have issues getting Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton, and Richie James up against Darius Slay, James Bradbury, and our starting nickel corner, Avonte Maddox is back. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I'm not going to lie. So you shut them down. We all know Saquon Barkley is the key piece there, but we can stop the run. You got to stop him in the air, though, too. You just keep your eyes on him, man. One-dimensional, and let's go, baby. So, time to whoop some giant ass. I'll be real with you. It is really great to have him back. Been so excited waiting for this moment, and it's like people had so much slander, and it's like, do you realize Maddox comes back? And next week, Goddard can come back. We'll see if he's ready. Looks like he is. Then in a couple weeks, week 17, CJ's eligible. We'll see if we maybe just keep it, if we'll see what the record is, but we may be able to just rest him, have him ready for the playoffs. Let's go. So there's some huge pieces. We talked about Davis. He came back, and again, Derrick Henry, 30 yards. So, and we have Sue and Joseph now. So it's this defense pretty scary. Everybody's saying, fire Gannon. I hate having a top 3 defense. I'd love to have whatever they are smoking because, what? Why would you fire someone that literally has you as one of the best defenses? And you guys know I've done my best to educate, make videos on how these schemes work, how many little details go into things where it's like, I get that people are confused, but they don't have to be just mad at the wrong things. So it's been a wild season, but I think people are finally getting on board, and I love to see it. We sync up the offensive line. Look, they've had their issues with the pass rush. They are like 18th right now, giving up sacks. I don't like that, man. Over 2 per game, and they're better than that. But, this team, they're changing, man. We're used to running the ball all over people. Last year, you guys know, we ran the ball all over everyone, and we're still pretty damn good at it. We're like 5th in the league. I think we're 13th in passing, but we're such a balanced attack that, we're like 4th or 3rd in total yardage. So, for me, this team, dude, however you have to win each week, it's great. But this offensive line has shown they're much better, just going out and destroying people, and the guards pulling, the center pulling, the things we can do, the athleticism. It's not just the strength. So we got a great offensive line, but we have definitely had our struggles, and they definitely need to get their shit together with the penalties. Please stop that. But I still think one of the best, if not the best, offensive lines in the game. Old pal Jack Anderson, love that dude. Made the joke, is he going to start? I don't know. I doubt it, but it'd be awesome to see him. I like that dude a lot. So best of luck to him and the other guy in the other New York team, Nate Herbig, man. I love those guys, but this line is stacked, so we've got depth all across the board. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. But if you need anything from me, you can always reach out, whether it's to talk about birds, talk about life. Truly appreciate you. Liz, thank you again for that super chat. Truly made my day. But all of you, thank you again for tuning in. You have any questions, comments you want to leave down below? You're watching this later. More than welcome. But thank you all for tuning in. Have yourselves a great rest of the Saturday. I'll be back tomorrow, the pregame show around noon. I'll have all the game inactives and everything else you need to know. But if you need me, again, reach out. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!